was just talking to my mom tonight, our mom, about Nintendo when we got it. She was like, "Oh yeah, you guys had the Nintendo. You played all the games on it. You loved it. It was great." And I was like, "Yeah, we did. It was really fun." What year did we get that? She's like, "What did she say?" We got our Nintendo in 1992.
Wow.
When the Super Nintendo came out in America? 1991.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And Sega had already been out for years.
88,
85.
85.
86?
No,
I think it's soft launched in 85. It launched in 86. Anyways,
it came out in Japan first.
Super Nintendo's been out for years. Sega had been about 3 years, 2 years, a couple years at least. We were way behind. We didn't know though. We were kids.
They were so expensive though.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, like, it's just
Well,
like
we went down
buying
in price when we got it.
Yes.
Well, the big deal for us, the thing that got us going was Mario 3.
It's just like buying a Sega today though, or like a PS4. PS4, you buy a PS4, it's like $400. Yeah, same thing. It's like
Well, yeah, I mean, the same price range, yeah, kind of. But when we got our Nintendo, it was cheaper. I think Mom said she might have got it for a deal of $99. It's a great deal.
yeah, that sounds right.
It's a freaking good deal for a new Nintendo.
Came with a couple games, I'm sure.
Yeah, we had Mario, regular Mario, and we loved the Muppets game. She kept talking about it, and I asked her about it.
Dude,
I remember looking at the Muppets game a couple days ago on YouTube, and the game's fucking awesome.
I
It's
feel like
fucking-
there's so many games I can name that we loved.
Dude, there's so many games I can't name that we loved.
It's the same with like PS1. There's so many games I can name on the system.
Oh, yeah.
Like anything.
Well, just looking back at it, it boggles my mind that the Super Nintendo was out. I didn't know anything about it, really.
Yeah,
Sega
man.
Genesis was out. Didn't
Dude,
know anything about that, really.
We got it in 92, you said?
91? 92. 91. No, we got it 92. Yeah, 92.
PS1 came out in 95. Yeah, but
Do you remember when PS1 came out?
In
I
that
didn't know
range.
anything about PS1.
that's only like 10 years though from Nintendo to PS1. Yeah, think about that. It's a short range compared to like systems now. It's like 10
Okay,
years
say,
for
all
one system.
right, saying this. All right. We had our Nintendo. We played a lot of great games on it.
Oh,
Mega
yeah.
Man 4 was like our go-to. Mega Man 4 was our game.
We would have had like 3 times as many games on Nintendo anyways.
We ran games every day. Like every weekend.
Yeah.
We'd run a game.
We'd have a lot more games than that.
We moved up to Sega Genesis. Probably, I'd say not even that many years later. Just maybe a year or two later.
Yeah.
Because Mom wanted to play Sonic. Dad,
Yeah.
Christine, and Randy, they all wanted to play Sonic.
I mean, the first time I remember playing Genesis is over at
Philip?
Ranks.
Yeah, he had Altered Beast.
Yeah, he had the big Mega Drive one.
Yeah.
Dude, I
The
remember
original
that.
Genesis one.
Dude,
The big model.
16-bit.
It's fucking, what the hell was it? HD graphics or console? I can't remember the hell it said on top of it.
HD effects or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
GFX probably.
Dude, it was so good. I remember seeing Altered Beast, and that was a big deal. Oh, Phil got a... What? I love Sega Genesis, don't get me wrong. Actually, I think Sega Genesis was our big system.
Dude,
We
Sega
played
Genesis was what my big system because like when I lived at Dad's in Syracuse and none of you guys lived there. That's when the same house, the brown house.
That's when you got 32X on.
That's when I had 32X and Sega Genesis, and I had like probably 30, 40 games for all of it. But yeah,
Sega Genesis at Dad's?
That was my system. That
I
was
might
like,
forgot to edit that out.
yeah, man. I had
But even before
30s.
that, the Adam and Johns, we had
Sega Genesis.
just tons of games. Yeah, Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was the game.
When did Adam and John get a PS1?
I don't remember. But I remember in Canton having a Super Nintendo, and Kyle came up. He kept coming back to our house. He was hanging out with this Adam kid, this big nerd, this fucking huge geek.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do you keep hanging out with him? He's like, dude, he's got a PS1. I'm like, what the fuck's a PS1? He's like, Sony put it out so good. I'm like, shut up, I got my fucking NHL 94, man. I'm gonna fucking rock it right now. You know, like, it was so cool for me.
Man.
And he just kept talking about it was 3D, and I'm like, shut up, I don't care about that.
Dude.
And then what changed everything? What changed everything? It like literally changed the gaming landscape was Final Fantasy VII. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Sony put tons of money behind that. So did Square Enix, and like, I remember going to Toys R Us and just putting my hands on it, playing the opening level with the train and everything. And I was like, man, fuck Super Nintendo, I'm ready for this shit. Like, it was the next thing.
The same thing happened to me with like PS2. Of course, we had Dreamcast out already.
That was,
Like, when
I got out of gaming. I remember I bought my Nintendo 64. I played my PS1 games. I went through like tons of them, and I was like,
Dude, I was so into gaming when Dreamcast was out.
Dreamcast is a console gamer's dream. When that came out, I was out of gaming. I was in Dragon Ball Z at that time. And then I remember I saw Sonic, and I was like, man, I kind of want to get back into gaming. The Dreamcast just seems like a great system, you know, because it had so many games.
Dude, were you there? I don't know if you were there, or was it Kyle, or I don't know if you were both there. But when we lived at Dad's in that brown house, we had a Dreamcast there. and the guy downstairs, the neighbor, had shit tons of Dreamcast games. We always used to borrow, and like we would play against him on games, like
I don't
sports games. Yeah, dude. I don't know if that was just me. I don't know. How did I get a
don't
Dreamcast?
remember that.
Somebody had a Dream. I had a Dreamcast.
I had a Dreamcast.
Yeah, I had a Dreamcast there, and it must have been yours.
I just love that.
Yeah,
system.
he had a beard, man. Oh.
I was hardcore in Sega's. I was a fanboy of Sega. I'm now on PS2. Shit.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think a lot of people really loved the Dreamcast. It gave up too easy. But they were hemorrhaging money.
You know what though? I
Moving
used
on.
to like Sega.
I love Sega. We loved everything.
There's still-
32X Sega CD. We didn't care. They all sucked, but we loved it.
There's still a lot of things I like about Sega. I hate Sega. So I like recently.
Recently, they haven't put out the type of quality game that you want.
Well, it's
Not
gotten
really.
better actually. It's gotten better from like the past. Like,
If they don't bring Fantasy Star
5%.
Online 2 over to America, I'm gonna riot.
I'm just gonna murder somebody.
And then I kind of get out of gaming again because I didn't want the PS2 to win. But the thing that brought me back, I'll tell you a story about this.
It pissed me off. The PS2 was still going. Guess what?
I know. I went over to Mom's house, and her friend was spending the night or something. She had a PS2 as a DVD player in it.
I know what he's talking about.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And she's like, oh, I got these games, like fucking Firework One or some shit, something else. And she's like, I got Final Fantasy 10. I was like, oh, Final Fantasy. I remember Final Fantasy. Yeah, because we used to play. I remember when I first started playing it. It was at Philip's house. Yeah, Final Fantasy 2, and I was like, I still remember. I was like, holy fuck, this game is awesome. This is so cool. The story, it was so great. And Mystic Quest, we played that with Matt
I was gonna
Telman.
say, it just reminds me of
Mystic Quest and music. And I know it was super
Yeah.
easy, uber easy. But we were young kids, so
Even like GBA, regular GBA, I Final Fantasy on.
I know.
loved it.
God, I still have it. I have it boxed.
Like Final Fantasy Adventure, I think it was called.
We're getting back to the story.
Yeah.
So I was at. She's like, "Yeah, try it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll try it." I was really tired. Like I was already ready to go to bed, but I figured I'd try it for like an hour. Final Fantasy 10.
Bad plan.
Yeah, bad plan. Put the game in. Like as soon as they start talking, the music kicks in. I see this hardcore, just hardcore, heart-wrenching story. I'm thinking, holy fuck, what the hell is this shit about? This isn't a video game. This is something else. This is huge. So I play it for about 6 hours. Her friend's sleeping. She rolls over. She's like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's really, really good." About 32 hours later, I played 32 hours straight. I played Final Fantasy 10 for 32 hours straight. She didn't have a memory card. I didn't own a PS2, and I had to leave. And I was like,
This is what we did.
what happens? What happens in the story? So what I did was about a month later, I got a job and bought a PS2.
Yeah.
And then I played the shit out of that game, and then I was a PS2. After that, I bought a lot of PS2 games.
Yeah, dude.
It was so good.
Dude, I remember my friend having the PS or the FFX booklet, bringing it in on a bus, and I used to look at it. I'm like,
Oh
yeah.
my god, it's so fucking
We're rich
beautiful.
enough to have a PS2 then. I'm like, oh
No,
my God,
we're saying
what
this right
is
now.
that?
We're saying this right now. There's only 2 games that I put on my top list that are that good. I've got that, and I've got Halo.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
Yeah.
just for that generation.
we're just, I don't know. We like
There's
it.
just something special about those games.
To us.
To us,
It's
yeah.
just us. That's just our opinion.
I don't even know if those are the best games. I played a lot of Zelda games. I love Mario games. There's so many
Gosh.
freaking games out there. Like, there's Uncharted. Last of Us was so good.
So many.
If I had to pick the best game ever, and it wasn't just because of nostalgia, I'd probably say The Last of Us. Pretty goddamn close. I don't know. It's something you never
I
played.
don't know, man. Though, like, I was so out of video games, and then Skyrim came out. Dude, I played that fucking shit for like 48 hours
Yeah,
straight.
that's true. It was
I mean,
something.
when that came
It was a
out,
cultural
it's like-
phenomenon. Like,
Dude,
Skyrim was.
I remember Sean, TeamSpeak, does not play games. He only played like APB. He was so out of it. Started playing Skyrim. He was like gone.
Zone
for-
rating.
He was done for a week. He's like, I can't stop. He was so good. It's like, man.
This is what are those ah moments you got in Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, in
Skyrim.
video games?
Oh,
Bioshock.
Bioshock was so fucking good.
Everybody remembers Bioshock. It's just like holy tongue.
And like they even like redid that with like Infinity. It's amazing.
Really looking back at Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6, whatever you want to say, that really was one of the.
6 was the big.
That was a
huge
big
game.
turn because
And 7.
Kafka, he won. Like it was the first time you played a game and you lost, and you're like, holy fuck, the world destroyed.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
That was awesome.
And then you had to go back through, and you had to fight your way back through.
Dude, it's the story. Seriously.
That was so good.
Like
Wow.
back then, they had to make a good story because then it wasn't graphics that were gonna pull you in. Even if like you thought it looked good, it wasn't that
It
great.
did look good. It had Mode 7 and that was fucking awesome. Parallax scrolling. It was. Yeah, that wasn't a lot of parallax. Was there a lot of parallax scrolling?
But I feel like when FFX or FF6 came out, it was really close to PlayStation era, or at least it might have been PlayStation era.
Well, that's kind of. Final Fantasy 7 started out in the Super Nintendo, and then it went on to the Nintendo 64. But then they were like, no. Sony, duh. There's way more. You could have real music on there. There's way more storage space. It was just the right. It was the right call for them.
I don't know, man.
It's pretty insane.
It looked really good when it came out, really, especially for this Super NES.
I know. That was a big leap from Final Fantasy on Nintendo to Super Nintendo. Holy crap! Really, we just like totally run off on like a completely different thing we were talking about. Anyways, all right.
What's going on?
Jesus
Where are
Christ!
we right now?
What the hell time is it? It's already past
Fukushima
midnight.
Reactor.
Check this out.